Have you won an IndyCar race or no?
Nope, nope. I led Charlotte for a while, and then Kentucky in 2000. I was leading with 40 laps to go. Came into the pits, did my last pit stop as I was leaving the pits. I mean, it was my race to win. We were so fast that day, and motor blew up leaving the pits, and that was the closest one I got. We had some good runs, some other ones, that woulda, coulda, shoulda. At Atlanta 2000, we were, I think running fourth, and the motor blew. That was the story of 2000. I mean, we were Texas. I think we were running fifth or sixth. Motor blew. We blew a lot of motors that year.
Did you know of anything about what was going on in IndyCar at the time with the open wheel split or no?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I got my opportunity because of the split. I mean, it was just like Jeff Gordon, when he said he had to go to NASCAR because he knew he'd never get a chance at IndyCar back when it was originally CART. Um, when they had the split, that's when I was just up here running the USAC stuff. Tony Stewart had just got his shot the year before, with Menard, and was doing a good job. And thankfully, Tony opened a lot of car owners' eyes and to the USAC guys that wouldn't have got that opportunity if it wasn't for the split. And I know, Billy Boat came up right before me, and he got a great opportunity. And then it was I think Tice Carlson came in, and I came in, and then Leffler came. I mean, there was a lot of open wheel guys after that all started coming in. Trying to think. I mean, there's just so many of them. Brian Tyler came in, and I mean, there was just so many of them and we all know. I mean, my first Indy 500, it was so cool. I'm getting raced with Jack Hewitt around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and I know it meant a lot to him, but it also meant a lot to me. And even I just said Donnie Beechler earlier. That first year there was a lot of JJ Yaley. I mean, a lot of open wheel guys that my first Indy 500. It was cool having them there. That we all know if it wouldn't have been the split, we wouldn't have had that opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. When did you stop racing Indy cars?
Oh, oh seven was my last attempt at the Indy 500. I ran '05 from the Indy 500 to the end of the season. I ran with Himmelgarn. Paul Dana got hurt, and I filled in for him for the rest of the year. And then I didn't run in '06, and then in '07, we tried to do just a one-off for the Indy 500, and there was some politics that came into play, and it was no matter what we did that year, we weren't going to be starting the Indy 500, and it sucks that was the last one I did. Kind of a bitter taste, but I just kind of wish the powers that be would have said, starting the month that, hey, look, you're not going to be in the Indy 500 this year, so don't take any unnecessary risks. Because there for a while, I was thinking, God, there's got to be something I can do to make this car faster, and it just, when all was said and done, it was over with, and found out that no matter what I did or my team did, we weren't going to make the race. That part kind of sucked.
Yeah. What do you remember about the 2006 race if you watched it?
That was one Hornish one, right?
Yeah, when Hornish edged Marco Andretti.
Yep, yep. Coming off the last turn, I love. I mean, Marco's awesome, but I loved Sam. Me and him got to race together a lot and hang out some. So I to this day still think a lot of Sam Hornish. So as a fan, when he was coming off that turn and stuff, I'm nothing against Marco, but I'm screaming and hollering as a fan. Come on, Sam, and I was happy as could be when Sam pulled that off. So proud of him. He had won everything but the Indy 500, and he earned that and deserved it.
Yeah, he won the pole that year too, didn't he?
Yeah, he was fast.
Yeah, for sure. Do you keep watching the Indy 500s in the years afterwards?
Yeah, I do. I mean, at first it was grumpiness. Like, I didn't pay much attention to it because I still, like, when the economy tanked in '07. That's kind of what took my opportunities. All these people had these race teams, but no money to run some of them. I mean, the big teams did, but smaller teams, they all kind of went away after '07. And there was just, I mean, I still thought I was going to be, running past the 100th. I thought I still had 10 years left in me, and then also next thing you know, I'm not running anymore, and there's no doors open anymore, and I didn't know what happened. And it was like grumpy, bitter there for a couple years. I mean, I'd still watch it, but not pay a lot of attention. But nowadays, I mean, I'm good with it. Like I said, I love what I do. It'd take me about 2 years to get back into shape to get back in an IndyCar now if I wanted to. So I'm glad just watching it as a fan now and just getting to watch the great racing. I mean, they are great races these days, and I really look forward to watching the Indy 500 every year. We still go out, like I'll do Legends Day on the day before. Um, Carb Day, depending, we might go hang out, for a little bit. And then we try to make it out for a practice day or qualifying day just to go see everybody because it was, a lot of those people, even fans, for so many years of my life, um, the racing group, it's like a big family, and some of it was family you only saw once a year at the month of May, at the Speedway, and so it's good to still get to see all those people.
Yeah, for sure. Were you there for the 100th anniversary in 2011?
I was, I was. That was a fun event, just how they did it, like the autograph session, with all the past drivers. I mean, I still the picture of all of us, the living drivers that were in that one picture. I mean, I still, even at Legends Day this year, getting to sign that, and you just look and remember that day, how cool it was having all of us together, and just knowing we were, like me personally, knowing I was able to be a part of that. I mean, that was pretty cool. But that whole thing, I remember in the autograph session, I had I think Raul Boisel was on one side, and then Donnie Allison was on the other side of me, and just getting to hear Donnie's stories and him talk. I mean, that was just great. But just everybody together, those are my favorite moments. Now that I'm not driving anymore, is getting to see the guys that, whether I raced with them or they raced before me or raced after me. Just getting to get together and us all tell our speedway stories. That's fun.
Yeah, for sure. What'd you think of the final lap finish with Dan Wheldon winning?
That was a that one was a shocker. I mean, it was great. And again, I love Dan. I was, and especially with him when he was kind of out, and then got to come back and to win, and with the team nobody expected to win. I thought that was great for him. Awesome guy. I hated it for Hildebrand. Because he's such a likable guy too. It's like you hate somebody had to lose that, but it just, for Dan, it was cool, and especially now that we all know how it played out. It was awesome that he got to win that last one.
It definitely was. And I was actually scheduled to attend that race where Wheldon died, but I couldn't make it. And then I watched the race on television and saw what happened. And a friend of mine was working security at the race, and he told me within 20 minutes of the accident that Wheldon had passed away just before they made the announcement. But
Mhm.
it only took 20 minutes for him to tell me that Wheldon had passed. And I was shocked when that happened.
We all were in the racing world, like you said. I mean, I wasn't out there, but my phone was, at that time I hadn't been out of it long, so I still knew a bunch of people that were out there. So I was, sending a lot of text messages and getting a lot of them back, and it just that was a hard one. I mean, it sucked, and it's one of those. I mean, you hate to see it to anybody, but like I said, after he had just won the Indy 500 that year, I mean, that was, to the IndyCar racing world. I mean, that was as big as, back when Earnhardt, got killed at Daytona. To the NASCAR world, how much that hurt all of them. It's a vicious part of the racing world that we all know it can happen, and I mean, that's one of the things about it. When you go so many years without something happening, you get a false sense of security, and you forget how dangerous race cars are in general. Not just Indy cars, not just NASCAR. Sprint cars, late. I mean, they're dangerous, dangerous vehicles, and you know, there's many times when I was qualifying at Indy going down the front straightaway that I'd made my peace with God before I went into turn one, just in case I didn't make it out of the exit of turn one.
Good on you, man. That's really cool. So, what are your hopes for the future?
I'm good with my future right now. I mean, I'm literally as happy as I can be right now. I have an amazing wife. I still have some great friends that are racing, and I'll still go watch her once in a while. Uh, what Justin Henderson that runs Knoxville sprint cars a lot, and Jeff Dodge around here that runs some All Star racing and stuff. I mean, they're close friends of mine, and they're still racing. So I kind of live my racing through them. But my best friend Billy Smith over in Missouri used to run modifieds, and he also mechanic on Kenny Wallace's stuff. His boy's racing now, and Billy basically semi-retired last year. So I think the future of my career is just kind of watching to see how Zane's going to do growing up. I think he's going to be a super super amazing dude. When he gets older, he's already kicking their butts as young as he is, and that's that's my racing glitch there now. Is just seeing how Zane does.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad to hear that. So that's all we have for now, but we thank you for coming on.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it.
No problem. Where can people find you?
I mean, we have on Facebook, and then, like I said, if anybody around Indianapolis, ever needs signs or graphics or vinyl or that stuff, we have Mindy's Brownsburg signs here in town, so you can hit us up on there too. We got a Facebook page on there as well.
Thank you, man. So everybody, please check him out on his social media websites, and please hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week for the next episode of SFM.